Hello teachers, and welcome to part 2 of the training videos on how to teach the Step into Reading series. So we're going to dive right in and see how to teach the Step into Reading series GK to G1. So for starters, we're going to look at a structure overview of our lessons. When we give our lessons, we always want to begin with a homework review. We're going to get into more details of each section as we go. So this homework review lasts about 2 minutes. Then we do the warm-up, which should last a maximum of 3 minutes. Number 3, we do reading of the story, which is about 5 minutes. Number 4 are the vocabulary and exercises, which should last longer. This should be about 8 minutes long in total. And then the mind map, which is only for G1, not the GK. Or if it's GK, we do a material video, like a song or a YouTube video that applies to the lesson. Step number 6 are the comprehension questions, which lasts about 4 minutes. And then the homework assignment, which should only be about 1 minute. So this is how our lessons with GK to G1 are laid out. So let's dive right in and look at an example. Here we have an example lesson of the Step into Reading G1, Lesson 2. We're going to start first with the homework check. So, as you can see, the homework for this lesson is a fun matching game. Most students will print a hard copy of this so they can read and they can write on it at home. So if the student has done this, you can ask them, hey, can you show me the paper? And if they haven't done it, then you can briefly go through the homework and see if they recall what they learned in the previous lesson. You can ask them orally, or you can authorize them the drawing tools here in Klassen so they can make the connections themselves. Like this. If they take a long time, it means that they didn't do their homework. So don't spend too much time trying to help them. Ask them to continue practicing at home and then just move on with the lesson. Now, you can also mention the eJoy leveled reading program. This is a homework that's done on a mobile app, but we're going to explain this a little bit more in detail at the end of this training session. So depending on your time, you can also do a quick warm-up video. For example, I have a lot of warm-up videos here. It can be a dance song, or it can be something, it can be Baby Sharp, or something to really motivate the student to get into learning English. So after you do the homework check and the warm-up, we can move on to step number 2. Which is the reading of the story. So here we go, lesson 2 of the G1, the Fly Guy stories. So this part of the lesson should only take about 5 minutes, depending on the student's reading level. So after the student finishes reading each page, you could ask additional open-ended questions. Ask additional open-ended questions. For example, you can look at the pictures and say, oh no, oh no, look at mom and dad. Do they look happy? Or, wow, what did Fly Guy eat? Look at that, that's so yummy. Asking those questions can really motivate the student to speak more and to express himself in his own words. So after the reading is done, you can move on to the vocabulary exercises. As you can see, the 4 words that the student is working on in this lesson is rescue, gave, listen, and thought. So those are the ones he's working on. This is an opportunity to correct pronunciation. Of course, you want to do this with lots of patience and kindness to not discourage the student. Also, you can help them, you can ask the student what they think each word means. Now, this is a good opportunity to have them express themselves, and maybe you could even use the illustrations to guide them to the correct meaning should they not understand. So for example, for this picture, listen, you can make a gesture like listen, listen, and you can point to your ear, right? Using these gestures could really help them. Oh, okay, okay. And you can stop and pause and listen. What do you hear? Listen, for example. So really take advantage of the illustrations to help them understand. In the next part, you can see that the student must connect the correct picture to the word. Now, should the student make a mistake, you can also help guide them, right? You can ask them additional questions. For example, let's say that they connected rescue to this picture. You can say, for example, rescue means to help somebody. Do you see someone in trouble? Do you see someone in trouble? And maybe guide them, right? Oh, the cat. Yes, the cat is in trouble. He must rescue the cat. Just as an example. And of course, if the student makes a mistake, just keep guiding them with patience and using gestures and the illustrations. But if you see that they are really struggling, always learn to adapt. This part should take about no longer than 8 minutes. Here are some more vocabulary exercises that must be done. Again, the student must complete the sentences with the new vocabulary. You can ask them additional questions, again, to guide them to the correct answer. So in total, all of these vocabulary exercises should take about 8 minutes. After the vocabulary exercise comes a mind map or a story puzzle in this case for this lesson. Now again, the mind map is only for G1. So in GK, there is no mind map. And there are different kinds of mind maps. For example, you can see in this mind map, the student must retell a bit of the story, the beginning, the middle, and the end. So these mind maps really help the student think who, what, when, and why. That's the purpose of the mind maps. So for example, in this part it says, in the beginning, Buzz took Fly Guy, and wait for them to answer. If they struggle, you can ask additional questions. For example, did Buzz take Fly Guy to the park, to the zoo, to the moon? Did he take him home? And then eventually they'll give you the correct answer. Show them pictures to help them remember events as well and motivate them to use the new vocabulary words. For example, what did Buzz give Fly Guy? Yes, Buzz gave Fly Guy a hot dog. So he's now using the new vocabulary word gave. Very good. So as I mentioned, there's different kinds of mind maps. Here's another example in a different lesson. So this lesson is lesson 5 from G1. And for this one, you must explain what cause and effect is. So the student must think of a turning point in the story that had a cause, or that was the cause and had an effect. So it created a domino effect. To help them understand what this is, you can show them this picture, right? You can say, look at this cause. The man is putting a domino. He's going to push it. What will happen? Yes, the others will fall. That is the effect. So you can then go back and refer it to the story. Oh no, they fired Ms. Roz. That's the cause. What is the effect? What happened? Yes, everyone is sad at the end of the story. See? Asking additional questions and using the illustrations will really help students think. And this whole part of the mind map for each lesson should take about 7 minutes. 7 minutes for the mind map. Excellent. So finally, we go to the comprehension questions. The comprehension questions, they really help the student, again, analyze the story further to make them think about the characters and their actions. Now, for For example, this question here, how does Dad feel about the fly? It's a great question because it was not answered directly in the story. The student has to have an idea. They have to really think about the story and look at the illustrations. For example, you could even help them out if they can't give the correct answer. Look at Dad. Does he look happy? How would you feel if someone brought a fly to your home? And that could help them reach the correct answer, which would be, he was not happy. So you can do this with all the comprehension questions, and this part should only take about 4 minutes. Very good. Finally, the last part is our homework assignment. So here's an example of a homework assignment. It's writing skills. They have to explain if they would like to have a fly as a pet. And then the last one is to draw your favorite pet. So you can explain in this section what's to be expected. Just go over it briefly. Don't take too much time. Now, what's very interesting is in the last page, you will see this homework exercise. It says, please read the next story, Hi Fly Guy Chapter 3, and listen and repeat the audio on eJoy Leveled Reading Program. So this eJoy Leveled Reading Program is on it's a mobile application, which students will have downloaded already at home. So this mobile application is very cool, very interesting. It has the story on it, and it has an audio recording of a native English speaker. So the student must listen to the audio and then record themselves repeating the audio. And automatically the system will give them points should they do a good job or need to improve a bit. Very good. So after you have encouraged the student to do this eJoy Leveled Reading Program, you must praise the student for a job well done. He did an awesome job at his lesson. And that would conclude the lesson with our GK to G1 level students. Excellent. Well, you guys, that ends our video on how to teach the GK to G1. I really hope this video is helpful for you guys. And if you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to ask. eJoy admin is always there to help. So I will see you in the next video, video 3, how to teach the Step into Reading Serious G2 to G5. Thank you for watching.